The legendary thought of Ivanka Trump as a power of control upon her dad has for quite some time been a fantastical, and enticing, media myth. At the point when the possibility of a Donald Trump administration was as yet a disgusting interest, it was Ivanka who diminished his picture and widened his allure. She guaranteed preservationists that her dad was, indeed, a family man, by guarding Trump's prudence all through his verbal assaults on Mexicans and Muslims, the assertions of rape, and the Access Hollywood tape. After the decision, the hypothesis went, liberals could take some little measure of solace in Ivanka, alongside her significant other, Jared Kushner, was forcefully pursuing business pioneers to help direct the dispatch of the new organization in a more tasteful way. Ivanka conveyed Al Gore and Leonardo DiCaprio to Trump Tower to discuss environmental change. She welcomed Sheryl Sandbergand and Elon Musk to talk the eventual fate of innovation. She furtively met with Cecile Richards of Planned Parenthood, and she invited Rania Al Abdullah, the ruler of Jordan, to her office to talk about worldwide ladies' issues. The preparation for Ivanka's Washington motivation had been set. At this point, story has been lessened and everything except disposed of. Over the most recent 9 months, Donald Trump has endeavored to boycott Muslim migrants and outcasts, pulled back the United States from the Paris Atmosphere Ascension, and declined to unequivocally censure a racial oppressor rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, that left a young lady dead. In each case, Ivanka was freely quiet. However, her private dismay by one means or another figured out how to advance toward the press each time. Republicans have moaned about her propensity for dropping by White House gatherings for a brisk high. Her administrative motivation, as a senior White House counsel, has not increased much footing. The Princess Regal, as West Wing counselors allegedly get back to her behind her, is fairly mindful and protective about the move. A few people have made implausible desires of what they anticipate from me, she told the Financial Times a month ago for a profile distributed on Wednesday. That my quality all by itself would convey such a great amount of weight with my dad that he would forsake his centrist teams and the plan that the American individuals voted in favor of when they chose him. It won't occur. To those fault-finders, short of transforming my dad into a liberal, I'd be an inability to them. It's a figure of speech she has more than once came back to in interviews in the course of recent months, however her preventiveness has developed more articulated generally. I talk up much of the time. What's more, my dad concurs with me on such huge numbers of issues. Also, where he doesn't, he knows where I stand. Yet, it's not my organization, she revealed to CBS's Gayle King in April. I don't have a concealed motivation, she told Fox and Friends in June, soon after Trump rebuked her supplications to stay in the Paris atmosphere bargain. I make it clear where I stand. I give him my open and real understanding. At times we concur. Here and there we oppose this idea. As she generally has, the first daughter concentrates on compartmentalizing, assuming acknowledgement for achievements inside her domain and not repudiating her dad freely on issues she says she can't control. Be that as it may, utilizing her White House position to reinforce her image has for the most part cut the other way. Long stretches of infighting in the West Wing have left the organization wounded and battered, with a decreasing supply of political capital in Washington. The shared despise between the president and Republican administration on the Hill has just developed now that, 75% of the route through his first year in office, he presently can't seem to pass a solitary bit of key enactment through the House or Senate, both of which appreciate a Republican greater part. It's this reality that drove President Trump, anxious to put some administrative wins on the scoreboard, to comfortable up to Democratic initiative. A week ago, he made an arrangement with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi to keep the legislature subsidized, dispense help to storm casualties, and expand the obligation roof until mid-December. On Wednesday night, he reached a provisional accord with Tuss and Nancy to classify Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, in return for expanded French security. A fairly startled media generally applauded the president for his grip of bipartisanship. Things being what they are, he didn't require Ivanka to transform him into a liberal, all things considered. Ivanka, then, has seen her own White House desire flattened. As she told the FT, Some individuals have made improbable desires of what they anticipate from me, adding that she just needs to be judged on her endeavors identified with female enterprise, working families, apprenticeship programs, and advancing ladies in science and innovation. While infrequently my heart needs me to completely connect with on any host of issues outside of my obligation or ability, I make a decent attempt to remain in my path and execute on the activities I came to DC to go up against, she said. Indeed, even in those ranges, her idealism has tempered, at any rate openly, as an approach to pack down desires. I am ready to assemble, to arbitrate or an open deliberation, yet I can't make laws. It won't be simple. On the off chance that it would have been done as of now. Regardless of whether my commitment at last satisfies the desires of a portion of the harshest fault-finders, the truth will surface eventually. The lady who moved her whole family to Washington, took an office in the West Wing, and posts photographs via web-based networking media of all the abnormal state gatherings she goes to, cunningly told the FT that she's satisfied with what she has officially refined. I said to Jared after the World Bank Fund was declared, "Man, on the off chance that I go home today having quite recently made that, the biggest office at any point propelled to give capital and mentorship to ladies business visionaries in the creating scene, that is astounding." In the event that the Ivanka depicted in the AFT is more sensible, she is likewise a littler variant of the unscripted TV character she developed nearby her dad. Washington, it turned out, was more prohibitive than the Trump family expected, and every part has needed to shrivel themselves in different approaches to oblige its breaking points. Surprisingly, they are working in a world that doesn't love them or if nothing else humor them with a wink and a prod. They are settling on choices about things that don't simply affect their own business and ledgers. Legitimately, that is by all accounts weighing on her. What she calls the commotion, which means the pundits, she told the FT, won't occupy her. She did, in any case, sit for 3 meetings amid which she basically discussed that commotion. It's a practically marvelous kind of turn, to shake a clenched hand at the very thing she is partaking in. Washington still can't seem to diminish her talent for open marking. A few things are strong to the point that even the marsh can't muffle them.